Stealthmean here. Very recently, I picked up playing Elder Scrolls Online. It's a fantastic game, and playing it recently brought back many memories of the defunct Fallout MMO. In Elder Scrolls Online, there are 3 factions: the Adamari Dominion, the Ebonheart Pack, and the Daggerfall Covenant. It'd be quite difficult to make these kinds of factions in a Fallout style, since they each have 3 races in all. This is where the karma system comes into play, that Fallout 4 unfortunately got rid of, giving specific factions a certain karma type: good, bad, and neutral. However, the game requires a standard villain to fight. Similar to Star Wars The Old Republic, both sides are fighting against each other, and in Elder Scrolls Online, all 3 are fighting for control against one another. Here we can take the standard factions of the Fallout universe fighting for control of power in their own ways. The NCR would be interested in expanding their own republic's domain, hunting down Enclave survivors and killing them, and holding against Legion onslaughts. The Legion, the same, except they intend to destroy the NCR. The Brotherhood of Steel wants to continue their expansions over America, potentially set up another chapter in their collective arsenal of technological shit. Grow that. The Enclave, destroy the NCR. The Brotherhood, expand once more, take back pre-war military bunkers. Potential expansion of forces includes actually recruiting from Vault populaces, similar to a theory that people had in Fallout 4. Also because they regard them as pure humans, and tricking them into telling them that the others are driven mad by radiation, and this can also show the weakness of the Enclave and how weak they have become throughout the series. Other factions can include Vault Dwellers, Talon Company Mercs, Regulators, or Flame Raiders. Depending on the current location of the game, the Institute could even take part in this, with you playing as a part of the faction as a 3rd or 2nd generation synth. Hell, even the Railroad, why not? Enemies could include a new version of the Master, another genetic monstrosity looking to unite the mutants of the Wasteland and to wipe out all inhabitants. The NCR looks to protect its citizens, the Legion want to use the Chaos, the Brotherhood wants to wipe out the impure mutants, and the Enclave wants the FEV strand that is being used by its new Master. The reason I've written the Enclave off as the main villain is due to the current lack of knowledge on their holdings and numbers. The only base that we still know canonically is operational is Chicago. So if the Enclave were to be a part of this game, it's likely that it would be set in the Great Midwest Commonwealth, right next to the New England Commonwealth, maybe a DLC. This could also explain why there are so many mutants in the New England Commonwealth. If not super mutants, could always use Brotherhood tactics. We could always use Brotherhood tactics enemy, the Calculator. After all, each one of those factions listed above would definitely want to get their hands over such a vast robotic army of just death. Mind you, of course, the Legion would seek to destroy it due to their hatred of technology. And we could also wipe clean the slate of Brotherhood tactics and its semi-canon and give its story a new purpose. Classes such as soldiers, hunters, mechanics should all be available for use. Hell, even more. Soldiers are pretty self-explanatory. You use rifles, maybe use weapons, maybe you're a berserker. And use melee weapons, Chinese officers' swords, sledgehammers, power sledge, rippers, hunters, snipers, long-range weapons, mechanics. In my mind, this is probably one of the more I need to explain. They work similar to summoners in Elder Scrolls Online, but I believe that the first thing you can build, the first robot you get, should be a faction-specific robot. So you don't see people in the NCR or Vault Dwellers walking around with Enclave iBots. You'll see Enclave walking around with Enclave iBots, and you might see NCR walking around with Protectrons, for example. But later on in the game, you're able to upgrade to the more standard and the wide out version of all the robots, Mr. Gutsy's, Sentry Bots, and because these are all widely used in the military and had a fairly hefty presence in Raven's Rock, I would assume that they have the schematics for those available. Mounts used to travel across the world would be repaired pre-war vehicles similar to the Highwaymen, the chosen one used in Fallout 2. But who wants to give up on the genuine Fallout walking experience? And obviously, as is tradition, the MMO should 1000% have a working radio station. Hell, even radio stations. Music and propaganda stations for whatever music or entertainment you desire. But these are just some of the ideas that I thought up while considering the premise of a Fallout MMO. After all, Bethesda did purchase the rights for a Fallout MMO. We could see one coming in the future, and hopefully, my opinion, that we were able to play as the Enclave. They've been shit on way too much. They are so weak now. It's not even funny. You could not beat them to death anymore. But, comment below or at me on Twitter if I missed anything or you have another idea to add to the list. And don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe for a very inconsistent upload schedule. And thanks for watching.